Hello guys, we're going to be making a jig for coho. I call it the bronze sparkler because it gets pretty obvious. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using a 3/8 ounce jig head. I like to use this like the silver, it's not painted because I think it goes pretty well with this. And we're going to be using some hairline rabbit strips. These are in tiger. Here's what it's going to jig for coho. I call it the bronze sparkler because it gets pretty obvious. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using a 3/8 ounce jig head. I like to use this like the silver, it's not painted because I think it goes pretty well with this. And we're going to be using some hairline rabbit strips. These are in tiger. Here's what it's going to this is what the rabbit strip looks like. And then we're also going to be using some MFC fly tying materials. And it's sparkle minnow brush body and sand color. So what we're first going to do is we're going to take some lead-free wire. I just like to take a strand about like that. And what we're going to do is we're just going to wrap it and give it like a little bit, some wraps around, just to give it a little bit of a better profile when you're going to put this around it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to wrap like so down the body. I like to go like a little bit past the hook point, or right at the hook point. That's pretty good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take some of our thread. I'm using ultra thread in 210 in white color. I'm just going to do is start your thread. I like the thread since it's nice and like flossy, but it doesn't break really easy, but it's not too incredibly thick. And we're just going to secure our lead-free wire like so. Snip our excess free. Then we'll take a little piece of our rabbit strip. I like to do like side cuts since it gives a little better like profile onto the rabbit strip. I like to do about from the neck portion all the way down to a little bit past the hook point. That's how I measure it. And what you'll do is you'll just take that corner side and you'll just tie it in. You don't have to be shy that much with thread wraps. Just make sure that you can get it in pretty good. Make sure it's tight so it won't just rip off. That's pretty good. And then what you'll do is I like to grab some of our sand color about from like that much of length, about here to your palm, about 10 inches. Then what you'll do is you'll take where the wire is and you'll just brush the stuff back and tie it in pretty good. Make sure you get down to that rabbit strip. And then I'll just wrap all the way to the head. What you'll do is I like to take at the top of the wire, right here. And you want to brush and kind of get this to brush back a little bit. And you'll palmer your brush body, and every wrap you'll like take your fingers and you'll just make sure it's laying flat along at the back. We'll do close touching spirals so you get a good like body buildup. I would use, since I got a rotary vise, I would usually wrap it around with other materials, but with this you want to be really careful and you don't want to like really wrap it up, because if you go, you would be, this stuff is not very forgiving since it has memory on the wire if you wrap it a lot, and then the wire will just go into like a spiral a little bit. So it's not that forgiving, but you can make it work because the sparkle is good. This is what I use since it builds up a good profile. Then what you want to do is, we have this little section before. If you want to, you can add some of these little rubber legs. Like with this, you can choose any different types of rubber legs that you want to do. I usually have white, like that. These work great, but today I'm not gonna add it since it will get, sometimes it could get tangled up, but it's not very, probably won't, but I prefer to have it with no legs because it keeps the transition a little bit easier, because we're gonna snip it a little bit and make it a little bit nicer. Grab a little bit more of the minnow brush body. Secure that in tightly. Make sure to pull all the fibers back so you don't get any up front. With this, you want to just brush, wrap back once you finish at the head. Wrap back a little bit onto your line / wire, the minnow brush body. Make sure to cover up all the tag ends. You really just want to get a good head portion up here, because it's going to be really beat up at the head. I like to hold it so it gets a little bit more sturdier, so I can really crank down on it. You can choose your head shape, like on this one, I just made it pretty thin. I just kept it like a cone. This one, you can taper it at the end, at the back side, and you can make it a lot thicker at the top, or you can just do like whatever style you want, whatever works best for you. So I'm doing that, and we will our wet finisher. I like to do 13, because again the head portion will get pretty beat up. Well, it's your preference how many you want to do. I'm going to do a little bit, kind of a lot. Well, since you're not, snip your excess pretty close, but not too close. Like, I give it like half a millimeter. Put that right here. And this is when I got this little binder clip. They make little things to hold back the hair on this, or the little tinsel on this. I'm just going to use this since it works pretty good. What I'll do is I'll take some UV resin. I'll just take this and I'll just fill it up a good amount, since again this head section is going to be really beat up. Just like this, so I can get a good even coat. This is where a rotary vise comes in really handy. all this. Okay, so sorry guys that the video cut off. I just found that out as soon as I was downloading the file. I'm pretty sure you guys were at when I was doing the UV resin, but after that, what I did is I just took the little clip off and I just trimmed it up. I call it giving it a haircut. I just trimmed up the back a little bit. I made it a little stubby. You can trim it up however you like. I just like to keep it pretty thick at the back and nice and thin at the front. I used a razor blade, and this will pick to free up some of the fibers at the bottom. I use one of these just brush combs to free up some of the little loose fibers. You can probably see them all over the table right now. But yeah, sorry guys if that cut off. But yeah, so this is the bronze sparkler. Hopefully you guys like it.
Okay, let me